This is the dawn of an age with Monday Night Raw, another Monday, Austin, Texas, live. You know, just another run-of-the-mill Monday, man. You know, Bron Breakker showing why he's a beast. Bronson Reed destroying yet another poor individual with 6 tsunami. I think it was 6. I think it was 6. This time, R-Truth should have been The Miz. I would have paid extra for 6 more tsunamis to The Miz. CM Punk looks to want a match with Drew McIntyre in Berlin. We may be going old school, folks. Randy Orton strikes against Gunther first. And Rhea Ripley almost gets her hands on Dominic Mysterio. But we got that mixed tag team match that we talked about last week. And we got an explanation from Dominic on why he turned on Rhea Ripley. All in all, I'd say Monday Night Raw forwarded some stories going into Berlin. Not as exciting as last week, but what are you going to do, man? They all can't be winners. You know who's the winner? Me. You know what's the winner? This show. Every fucking week, man. Nobody's better. And we're going to the OTS venue because I'm thirsty. It's Monday night. We got a drink. We got to talk a little pro wrestling. And I need an old-fashioned. So when I get to the beer garden, I want to know on this Monday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for August 12th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Monday evenings, wherever you may be. Another Monday night. Another night in which Bronson Reed squashed another victim. Bron Breakker and Sami Zayn, 2 out of 3 falls in the main event for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther and Randy Orton being set up nicely, with Randy Orton striking first. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre look to be headed towards a stipulation match at Bash in Berlin. We might have gotten a little taste of that tonight, with Mr. Punk giving out several lashes to Drew McIntyre, who still, by the way, is in possession of the bracelet, the 50-cent bracelet. The 50-cent bracelet that appears to be more over than anything on AEW Dynamite at the moment. Minus MJF, by the way. Somebody had to say it. Sheamus and Pete Dunne, with Pete Dunne explaining why he wants nothing to do with Sheamus anymore. And Dominic Mysterio apparently doesn't have enough man in him to satisfy Rhea Ripley. This is according to Rhea Ripley herself. I have no insider information on that, nor do I want any insider information on that. But this is what we heard tonight from Rhea Ripley. And the Judgment Day feud with the new pairing, I should say, the new old pairing, the babyface pairing of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, the Terror Twins, finally got their mixed tag team match with the new Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan at Bash in Berlin. We're going to go over all that tonight, man. I enjoyed Monday Night Raw tonight. It wasn't as good as last week's show. It was going to be very difficult for them to top what they did last week. So if you're expecting me to come on here and shit all over the show because it wasn't as good as last week's show, or you might have found it to be boring, or you found it to be less than tonight, and you expect me to shit on it, I'm not going to do that. So if you guys are already disappointed in that, you could go find somebody else to go fucking watch and leave the fucking chat. I enjoyed Monday Night Raw. I found myself bored during some portions of the show, but that's what happens when WWE has such a great show last week, and then everybody's expecting that same amount of energy going into the next week. It just doesn't happen that way. But what I do appreciate about Monday Night Raw now, because this wasn't the case with Monday Night Raw, and I talked about this with the Solid Monster on Tuesday night when we talked about Shane McMahon and the rumors of Shane McMahon possibly landing in AEW and what the good and the bad for that situation would be. I keep saying, and you guys know I've said it time and time and time again, the old administration, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, they took great pleasure in giving you a lot of nothing. They took great pleasure in treating everybody that watched the show like a bunch of fucking idiots. I don't really get a sense of that with Triple H and his team. Is the show perfect? No, it's not. Would I change aspects of the show? Absolutely. No show is perfect. No show ever that's on TV is perfect. But the one thing I appreciate is that Monday Night Raw is now in this new administration, and they're pushing things forward. And they're pushing things forward, and there's always a moving part on Monday night. When the show is great, you know it's great, you feel it's great. When the show has a subpar week, or it's not as great as it was last week, the show is always in motion. There's always something pushing into next week. Triple H and team has gotten everybody involved on Monday night. He's gotten everybody involved on Friday night. We're starting to see more and more talent that we haven't seen, like Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin and Giovanni Vinci. We got Odyssey Jones and Kaiser back on Monday. He's getting people integrated into the show. Things are moving forward. And my intelligence, I don't think, maybe once, maybe twice, but I have not felt that this team, this show, this administration has gone out of their way to make me feel like an idiot. They have not gone out of their way to insult my intelligence, whereas it was done blatantly under the Vince McMahon administration. I feel like my intelligence is insulted every fucking week with something when it comes to pro wrestling. And then I get treated like the bad guy when I ask fucking questions. Why is it when I ask questions, people want to get up in arms and they want to get defensive about it? I don't want to be treated like an idiot. I don't really get a sense of that when I watch WWE television for the most part. I get more of that watching AEW now. I feel like my intelligence is insulted almost on a weekly basis when I watch Dynamite. So I really appreciate that, and things are moving forward. We're going to get into all the big things that happened tonight. There wasn't one major thing that happened tonight like last week. We're going to get into all of the major happenings that we got this week. It was more of a continuation coming out of last week with Bronson Reed and the Judgment Day. It's set up for the mixed tag team match with Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest against Dominic and Liv Morgan at Bash in Berlin. More of the same with Randy Orton and Gunther. Them actually getting a little physical tonight. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, they potentially have a stipulation match looming at Berlin. Bronson Reed and, Bron Breakker rather, and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. If you guys were disappointed with their SummerSlam match, I thought they fucking killed it tonight. And the thing is, I felt like the match could have went another 10, 15 minutes. To be perfectly honest with you, I thought they rushed 2 out of 3 falls. I could have watched another 10 to 12 minutes easy with those guys in the main event. I wish they would have gave them a little bit more time. But Bron Breakker retains the Intercontinental Championship, as he should. Sami Zayn, again, falls clean, as he should. And Bron Breakker is a fucking beast. And what a great main event we got tonight on Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about the news and rumors. Apparently, there was a vicious rumor going around, stupid rumor, going around about the Judgment Day possibly changing their name. I'm going to have to change the thumbnail to this video when I finish here. There was a ridiculous rumor about the Judgment Day changing their name to Street Trash. This apparently was coming from PW Insider, and it was picked up by WrestleVotes. They were thinking about doing something outside the box with the new Judgment Day. That would have been fucking awful. I wasn't sure if it was April Fool's or if Vince McMahon somehow seeped back into the creative vision of WWE. Street Trash? I mean, what fucking idiot came up with that idea? I mean, listen, I'm all for out-of-the-box ideas when you're all out of ideas. But why would you change the name of Judgment Day? Doesn't make any sense, especially change their name to Street Trash. It's fucking ridiculous. So I'm glad that didn't happen. And we still have the Judgment Day, and we still have the other side by Alter Bridge, which that would be the most painful blow, getting rid of the theme. But like I said, we're going to talk about all that happened on Monday Night Raw tonight right here on OTS. And I want to thank you guys very much for joining me here on this Monday night, man. We got a lot to get into. And there's a lot going on here, man. There's a lot going on here. Tonight we're sponsored by DraftKings. We'll talk about my friends over at DraftKings a little bit later on in the show. But if you guys want to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use that promo code JD from NY, you guys are going to get $150 back in bonus bets instantly when you put $5 down on any wager. And I know UFC's got a major event coming up, so if you guys are into that type of thing, you might as well take advantage of that, man. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use that promo code JD from NY only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Tonight sponsoring Off the Script here for the Monday Night Raw post-show. I started a second channel. And this second channel is something I'm going to put a lot of effort into. A second wrestling channel. Now, it's not any new content. It's not any groundbreaking content. I'm not going to be one of these fake reaction streamers that react fake and unorganic, and nobody acts like that. I'm not going to be doing lists and reactions and whatever the fuck else these children's creators are creating nowadays. But it is a clips channel. And I took influence, actually, from Chris Van Vliet. My buddy Chris Van Vliet. Great. He's fucking killing it. He's at the top of his game. Nobody's better right now. He's got a second channel called CVV Clips. I have started a second channel called JD from NY Shorts. Now, it was supposed to be a shorts, YouTube Shorts channel, but I'm keeping the name because we usually are sitting here live 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I'm going to upload clips from this show Monday, Tuesday with Solomonster on Tuesday Night Titans, Wednesday night with Jesse on Dynamite, Friday from SmackDown. They are going to go up 48 to 72 hours later on this channel. So make sure you guys go and follow that channel. You'll see it. I posted about it on Twitter. I'll link you guys in the description of the video as well. So make sure you guys go and do that. It's about time we give everybody a chance to digest the streams. And the hope is that when people find the clips, they like what they hear, they like what they see, and then they come on over here and take in the full live stream experience. So that's what we're doing now. Tomorrow night, Jason and I will be live, episode 61 of Tuesday Night Titans. Make sure you guys set your DVRs, set your VCRs, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Gonna go over all the weekly wrestling news as always. Hopefully we don't near 4 hours. I was dead after last week's show, man. It was a great show, though. Nearing 50,000 views on last week's episode. Love it, and love Jason. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and please hit that thumbs up. We got 2,100 people in here right now. Let's try for 1,000 likes. I know we can do 1,000 likes right here on OTS. And super chats are open. We've had a great month of August. Let's keep it going, man. Get them on in. We'll hang out with our cold beverages at the end of the show, as always. So get them on in. And memberships are open as well. Get them on in. And if you guys have not purchased your new Tuesday Night Titan t-shirt, man, that is now available right now on bonfire.com. Go and get yours today. Bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Tuesday Night Titans and Off the Scripts. First ever Tuesday Night Titan shirt and the first ever shirt for myself and the Solid Monster. Nice collaboration there. So go and get yours today. Monday Night Raw. We start off at the top with Miss Rhea Ripley. She opens the show. She gets into the ring. Everybody loves Rhea. Big baby face reaction for Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley said since SummerSlam, she has felt a whole range of emotions, including heartache and embarrassment. But mostly she's pissed off. She said Dominic stabbed her in the back. The thing is, Dominic, and this is probably something you've heard before, it just wasn't deep enough. She did say that. Those were her own words. I'm not ad-libbing here. Dominic he's screwed. There's no better way to put it. Dominic is screwed. You do not want to get on Rhea Ripley's bad side. Clearly. It just wasn't deep enough. So Ripley said Liv Morgan can't run from her forever. And all of a sudden we get Liv interrupting Rhea Ripley from the mezzanine in the concourse of the fans. And standing next to her is Dominic Mysterio, Daddy Dom, as Liv Morgan calls him. Rhea said she's glad fans were booing him, but she wanted to hear what he had to say. Everybody was booing Dominic every time he said something loud. Boos would rain upon him. Rhea actually had to tell the fans, listen, calm it down for a second. I want to hear what this asshole has to say to me on why he did what he did. Dominic told Rhea that she tried to change him instead of letting him be him. He said he is a man, and he deserves to be treated like one. Fans chanted, "You suck," at Dominic. He said it was embarrassing that she was bossing him around. She said now he's with a girl who calls him daddy. How embarrassing was it for me to call someone mommy? Now listen. Is it really that bad to have the love of Rhea Ripley? Is it really that bad to be second fiddle to Rhea Ripley? I mean, you treat that woman right, I'm sure she'll end up taking care of you, man. I don't really understand this logic. I don't. But listen, man. Dominic made a choice. I wouldn't have went about it in the way that he did, but I mean, listen. He made a choice. I don't think anybody out there would be willing enough to break Rhea Ripley's heart, man. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Dominic said Liv lets him play video games whenever he wants. She gets him chicken nuggets, chicken tendies whenever he wants. She did something you could never do, Rhea. I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is he talking about? We're not in the Netflix era yet, man. We're not there yet, man. I thought he was gonna give a completely different answer. But he said, she helped me finally beat my deadbeat dad. Rhea Ripley said she was going to tell him something she hadn't heard in a long time. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Dominic. She said she's proud of all that he's accomplished in recent years. And, you know, looking at you, man, it's my greatest accomplishment. Looking at what you have achieved for yourself. She said watching him grow up makes her proud. She said when it came to his dad, she wanted him to beat him on his own, so there was no excuses. She said now that Dom wants to be treated like a man, she ought to be proud, but it's going to be the last decision that he makes. Liv Morgan said there's only one thing she said that's true, and that is that Dom is a man, and he's all mine. She told Rhea she has absolutely nothing. She said her family lives across the ocean 1,000,000 miles away. She has the WWE Women's World Championship. Her family that she had here in the Judgment Day now belongs to her. Everything you loved is mine. Fans at this point were chanting sloppy seconds at Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan replied back, I would take Dominic's sloppy seconds any day of the week. There you go. If anybody's wondering if it's true love, there you go. Rhea asked if she was done. You've taken a lot from me, my weak links, said Rhea. She said Liv will have to kill her in order to stop her. All of a sudden, Damian Priest showed up from behind Dominic and Liv Morgan. He definitely channeled his inner Undertaker. I seen the Undertaker meme standing above AJ Styles from behind during their WrestleMania match, their cinematic match. Seen it all over social media in regards to this clip. He looked like the Undertaker staring down his next poor victim. Fans cheered. Priest beat up Dom. They fought into the concourse. Rhea ran up the steps and chased Liv to a room in the back. Priest chased Dom down the steps and punched him over the barricade over to ringside. Dominic started begging Damian Priest off. Priest set up a chokeslam, but Carlito attacked Damian Priest. They were set to meet later tonight. Priest fought back and clotheslined Carlito over the top rope. And that was basically the end of the segment. And then we go to a commercial break, only to come back to Damian Priest and Carlito in progress. I enjoyed the opening segment. I thought them giving Dominic the time to explain himself was right because we didn't get it last week. I thought it was a solid enough explanation as to why he turned on Rhea Ripley, and it's a logical one. There's no really, there's no overcomplicating it. There's no, oh my God, that's a lame excuse. I mean, he's got a valid excuse. He's got a real life excuse. So the excuse that he gave and the explanation that he gave is a very simple one. You don't need to overcomplicate something like this. Oh, I didn't want you in the Judgment Day anymore for X amount of reasons. I didn't want to be with you anymore because you came back and you started bossing me around. I didn't want to be with you anymore because you never let me be me. I'm my own man. How embarrassing is it of me to call you mommy and me be subservient to you? Dominic was fed up with being a beta cuck. It's exactly what the explanation is. Nobody wants to be a fucking beta cuck to anybody, to any woman. You got to present yourself like a fucking boss. You got to present yourself like an alpha. Dominic explained that to Rhea Ripley, and now he says he's got a girl who does whatever the fuck he wants her to do. She loves him. How real is that love? I don't know. She gets him chicken tendies whenever he wants. She lets him play PlayStation whenever he wants. It's a simple explanation. It's a real life explanation. So I love it. We got one. He delivered it. There was heat. One of the things that I also noticed that Liv Morgan, I've been praising Liv Morgan for being a harlot. She plays this role incredibly well. She also, I don't know if I am the only one that feels this way. I was watching this. I was listening to this tonight, and my God, man, it's almost as if Liv came off like fucking Meg from Family Guy. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one that made that correlation tonight, but all I thought about when she was on the microphone and explaining herself to Rhea Ripley, I got this, I took this from you, I have this now, you have no family. I just fucking envisioned Meg Griffin from Family Guy. I don't know why. Not really a good correlation, but I don't know why I thought of that. That's just me. But Liv, regardless, playing the role perfect. She's playing this harlot, this seductress perfectly. And she got booed. Every time she lifted the microphone up to her mouth, she's now getting the Dominic effect. So Dominic's heat is now rubbing off on Liv. And Liv is making Dominic into a bigger fucking prick. So the partnership, the relationship is actually enhancing both Liv and Dominic Mysterio. I love it. It's great. Rhea Ripley, I said last week, going to be the biggest babyface in the entire women's division. And a mixed tag team match was absolutely going to take place because it is the perfect buffer between what we saw at SummerSlam and going into Bad Blood. It'll be the perfect in-between before we get to Bad Blood, where Rhea will win her championship back and she will beat Liv Morgan. So I think everything that they're doing right now is great. This was another solid week of storytelling. It forwarded the story, and I love where they're going. Now, I could have done without Damian Priest and Carlito. I didn't really give a shit about this whatsoever. I mean, the less of Carlito in the ring we have to see, the better. I think he's just painfully fucking boring, honestly. But Damian Priest has to go through all the members of the Judgment Day. He went through J.D. McNuggets last week. He beat him. He beat Carlito this week. There's not many people left. There's Dominic and then Finn. So I don't know what we're doing or where we're going with that, but we got Dominic and Damian Priest staring each other down at Bash in Berlin. Bell rang after the commercial break. And Priest, he was never one that accepted Carlito as a member of the Judgment Day. But now he's a member of the Judgment Day because Damian Priest is not in the Judgment Day anymore. So this was around 9 minutes. This wasn't anything too spectacular. Damian Priest did all the usual Damian Priest shit. Carlito moved like he was in fucking molasses, as per usual with him. He had control through a break. Priest came back with the Falcon Arrow, clothesline, south of heaven. That's all you need to know. There wasn't anything scientific to this. There wasn't anything, oh my God, I got to go back and watch this match. What a banger match this was now. Damian Priest wins with a South of Heaven chokeslam. 1, 2, 3. He beats Carlito. Second week in a row, he is taking care of a member of the Judgment Day. Judgment Day attacked Priest. After the match, Rhea Ripley's music hit, even though she was, I don't know where she went. I don't know why she didn't just stay out there in Priest's corner, because she went to the back and then she came back out. She made out to make the save. She kicked Carlito in the midsection as she ran down the aisleway. She confronted Finn Balor. J.D. McFish, he was in the position to take the bullet for Finn Balor. So he shoved Balor out of the way, and he took a super kick from Damian Priest instead. He took that super kick for Finn Balor, who managed to escape Damian Priest. Priest then gave McDonough a South of Heaven chokeslam. So at the end of this, Priest and Rhea Ripley hugged. Dominic, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Dominic actually tried to attack them off the top rope as they were hugging. But in the hug, he comes off the top rope, and Damian Priest, still hugging Rhea Ripley, chokes him. He's got him by the throat, and he was about to give Rhea Ripley the opportunity to get his ass beat. She was about to give him a riptide, and Liv Morgan this week saved Dominic Mysterio from impending doom. So last week it was Dominic saving Liv from Rhea. This week it was Liv saving Dominic from Rhea. So obviously all the teasing about Rhea getting her hands on Dominic and Rhea delivering a riptide or something worse to Dominic is coming at Berlin. They're not going to give that away right now. That's the big selling point for the match. But I thought what they did here was really good stuff. Sells it, takes it into next week. We got Bash in Berlin at the end of the month. I think everything that WWE is doing right now with this Judgment Day storyline is working. Good stuff. Minus the Carlito match. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Ivy Nile. We go from Judgment Day to Ivy Nile. Backstage, Otis was getting psyched up with Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree. They had American-made, the Creeds, tonight in a Texas Tornado tag team match. Ivy Nile walked in and pulled Maxine Dupree to the side. She suggested that Maxine shouldn't go out there with the Alpha Academy tonight. Maxine said, listen, I can't do that. I can't abandon them. They're my family. Ivy said she could talk to Chad Gable about joining American Made. Maxine said, no, I'm staying with my family. Ivy then gave this very bizarre response. Oh, okay. I thought you'd say that. And then walked away. Now, I didn't really think much of it. I thought Ivy was just being a great friend. Knowing that Maxine was going to make this decision, I thought Ivy Nile was going to respect Maxine Dupree's decision. Apparently she didn't. Ivy Nile turns to Gable's knowledge. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We got a VHS tape of the Wyatt Six. There was no other mention of the Wyatt Six tonight, outside Chad Gable mentioning that he still has business with Uncle Howdy. Another Wyatt Six VHS tape. Not of Dexter Lumis, not of Nikki Cross, or Joe Gacy, or Eric Rowan. It was of Bo Dallas, another Bo Dallas VHS tape. Bo Dallas said everything is coming full circle with a lot of emotions. He said the work is not done and something is happening now. Uncle Howdy's voice said the work must continue. The other doors will be opened. Now, Uncle Howdy has this distorted voice, obviously. It sounds like,
the work must continue. The other doors will be opened. The little hobbits.
No, we're not going to do that. The work must continue. The other doors will be opened. Bo then kept repeating and getting more emphatic. The work must continue.
The work must continue. The work must continue. The work must continue. The work must continue.
Just kind of got a little bit more psychotic, you know. My life for you, my life for you, as he rocked back and forth in the chair as images of Uncle Howdy flashed on an old TV screen.
My life for you. My life for you. My life.
I don't know, listen. I think we've seen enough VHS tapes there. We should, we got to get them back into telling the story in the ring, man. I think we've kind of expended all of our VHS tapes, man. You know, they're old news. Give me a fucking Blu-ray or whatever, man. Give me an MP4. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, whatever, man. Give me Howdy versus Gable. Is it coming? Are we getting it on Raw? Are we getting it at Berlin? Are we getting it at Bad Blood? I don't know. Backstage. Xavier Woods. He walked up to Kofi Kingston and Odyssey Jones. Oh, man, Odyssey Jones is on TV 2 weeks in a row, man. Odyssey Jones is on TV 2 weeks in a row, man. Oh, my goodness, man. This guy took 18 months to get TV time. He's on TV 2 weeks in a row. It's amazing. Xavier said he wanted to talk to him about tonight. Kofi was excited and said, listen, Odyssey had our backs last week. They've got this tonight. Xavier fist bumped Odyssey, and he seemed a little kind of uneasy, a little jealous that Kofi's putting so much stock into Odyssey Jones. We could be seeing the heel turn of Xavier Woods or Xavier leaving the New Day. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Odyssey Jones was in action. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they were by his side in his corner. And Odyssey Jones wrestled jobber number 1, Vincent Winey. Yeah, Vincent Winey, man. If you guys didn't know about Vincent Winey is the new boyfriend of Cora Jade. This is what I was told tonight, this useless factoid, this useless information. Thanks, Keith, if you're listening. Thank you, bro. Cora Jade's new boyfriend, man, Vincent Winey. I don't think he's got a lot to whine about if that's the case. He kind of looks like her type too, man. He looks like a douche. Vincent Winey. Odyssey Jones wins in about 1 minute. Big sidewalk slam, big boss man slam. And I like Odyssey Jones boss man slam, man. That shit looks great. That shit looks really devastating, man. 1 minute, he beats Cora Jade's boo. Goodbye. I'm sure she'll go and take care of you, man. Goodbye. The Final Testament walks out. Karrion Kross is out there with a microphone. He said, Xavier Woods, can you see that Kofi Kingston is trying to replace you with Odyssey Jones? Fans chanted, New Day Rocks. Xavier asked Kross, how are you not tired of attempting to drive a wedge between the New Day week after week? He says it's not going to work, so he suggested they fast forward to a tag team match next week. Kofi pulled the mic away from Xavier and said, they should just make it a 6-man tag team match. Now, I like this. Xavier wanted a tag team match with Kofi. He wanted to be next to his partner against the Final Testament. But Kofi said, no. We're going to take this a step further. We're all going to get involved. It's going to be Xavier and Odyssey Jones in a 6-man tag team match against the Final Testament. Now, Xavier looked kind of irritated at the fact that Kofi Kingston went and made this decision without discussing it with him. Kross says there's an old saying that the devil's work is never done. So he accepted their challenge. Looks like, sounds like, and it smells like to me, folks, that Xavier Woods is leaving the New Day next week. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a traditional heel turn. I don't know if he's joining Final Testament. I think that would be fucking ridiculous. Xavier Woods joining the Final Testament? I don't think so. I think Karrion Kross is playing the role of, like Xavier said, driving a wedge between Xavier and Kofi. He's jealous now. He's just continuing to poke that bear. And I think Xavier, we discussed this on Tuesday Night Titans. Solid Monster and I discussed this on Tuesday night last week. Xavier's not going to join the Final Testament. He's not going to, per se, join the dark side and go heel. But he is going to go rogue. He is going to go do things on his own. And he's going to realize that he can't do things on his own. And he's going to realize very quickly that without the New Day, without that power of positivity, that he's going to fail. And that he's had it good in the New Day. And we kind of freshen up the New Day a bit by adding Odyssey Jones and Kofi Kingston, make them a tag team. They go on to do solid things. I'm very excited to see what they can do, man. I think this tag team is going to really take off. I do. Odyssey Jones is a charismatic guy. I think he's got a lot of Big E-like qualities. Nobody obviously can replace Big E, but I think this is a perfect role for him. Xavier's going to see that. They're going to go on to win. And Xavier's going to go on to lose. He's going to realize that Karrion Kross did, in fact, drive a wedge, and a New Day breaking up is going to lead to the New Day getting back together and get this refreshed New Day. So I think that's probably the best thing for everybody. I'd like to see, personally, Xavier go out there and have a nice singles run for himself. I think out of the New Day, we've seen Big E, we've seen Kofi get singles runs. We haven't had a proper Xavier Woods singles run. Now, I'm not going to say, or I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to go on to win championships galore, and he's going to win the world championship like both Kofi and Big E did, and he's going to go on to win the Intercontinental Championship like both guys did. No. I mean, I'd like to see him get a serious singles run if he could stay healthy, but I don't think this is going to be long enough to get to that point. And I do think they're eventually going to end up back together. So I like what they're doing here. They've after weeks of kind of stalling on this, and we didn't really know where they were going. Now we actually have a direction, a nice direction, a clearer path as to where we're going with this. And it doesn't seem as bad as it did 3 or 4 weeks ago. I just felt like they kind of stalled, and we didn't get anywhere with this. Then they added Odyssey Jones, and now things are starting to kind of present itself a little bit more clear. So I like this. I think next week is going to tell a lot. And I think Xavier's going to end up leaving on his own and leaving his team high and dry, giving the win to the Final Testament next week in that 6-man tag team match. So we'll see what happens. Adam Pearce. He was shown talking on the phone, and he mentioned something about wanting to get something done between 2 guys or 2 individuals together tonight. Now, a lot of people, geeks online, correlated this and misconstrued this as a potential trade between Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce between Raw and SmackDown. I'm like, I don't know where you guys are getting your information from. I said right there tonight to myself, probably sounds like the mixed tag team match is being booked for Bash in Berlin. Had nothing to do with the trade. Had nothing to do with getting 2 talents from SmackDown over to Raw and 2 Raw talents over to SmackDown via trade. Nothing like that even presented itself, but people ran with it. Oh, I wonder what Adam Pearce had to say. Maybe it's a trade. No. It was the mixed tag team match being, I guess, unconfirmed or confirmed, but not really official. Because they didn't announce it with a graphic yet. They did that later in the show. But Drew McIntyre walks in. Adam Pearce said, listen, CM Punk is not here. He's had travel issues, and he doesn't have business with him. Drew took issue with Orton getting a title match. He said he's been screwed time and time and time again, and this guy comes over from SmackDown. He's not even a Raw guy. He picks his spots. He's sneaky. He's sly. He's the Viper, and he gets what he wants. He says he's been screwed, and this guy just gets one opportunity, and boom, it says. He says he's going to take care of things himself tonight. And Adam Pearce said, listen, the last time somebody told me that, it was Bronson Reed, and he went on to go destroy Seth Rollins. I don't need any more fucking problems. Okay? Pearce said the last person to say that was Bronson Reed, and Drew assured him that he will be on his best behavior. Going into hour 2. We got the Alpha Academy. This was Akira Tozawa and Big Man Otis against American-made This is the Creeds. They are calling them American Made. This was a fun tag team match, bro. This was a really fun tag. I did not expect this to be as fun as it was. Honestly. They showed a video right before this match of Chad Gable, who wasn't there with the Creeds because he was in Paris, France for the Olympics. Gable says he needed to get away, but was also there to watch the Olympic gold medal matches to do some scouting. Gable knew he had to get back home because he has unfinished business with the Wyatt Six. Then we get this tag team match of Julius and Brutus Creed versus Otis and Akira Tozawa. And Ivy Nile was the factor in this match. Otis press slammed Tozawa onto the Creeds. That was the big spot before the commercial break. The Creeds were in control after the break. Tozawa dropped them with a double DDT. You know, Tozawa may be a comedy geek, but Tozawa's a great fucking wrestler. Tozawa could go. A lot of people look at him as the small guy who doesn't do much of anything but fucking dance. But man, he could go. When he's X to go, he'll go. Otis ran them over and slammed Julius with a Mark Henry-like slam. He hits the Caterpillar. Brutus broke up the cover. Creed's double-teamed Otis, but Tozawa broke up a Creed's cover. Brutus tried to powerbomb Tozawa off the ropes, but Tozawa brought him down with a Hurricanrana. Tozawa fired up on the Creeds and went for a suicide dive. His leg got caught in the rope, and he fell very nastily, very awkwardly. Julius did try his best, though, to catch Tozawa on the way down. Tozawa did not really connect on the dive. Julius is back in the ring, and he goes up top, does Tozawa. Otis is in the ring as well. Julius got Otis on his shoulders and did an electric chair drop as Otis simultaneously brought Brutus down with a superplex. Tozawa was already in the ring on the top rope. He immediately followed a flying senton on Julius. Crowd went crazy for this and actually gave this a holy shit chant on the USA Network that wasn't bleeped out for me. Normally, something like that's bleeped out. It was not bleeped out for me. Maybe they're changing their ways on the USA Network. All of a sudden, Ivy Nile showed up at ringside, and she attacks Maxine Dupree. She gets onto the announce desk and locked Maxine Dupree in a dragon sleeper right on the announce desk. Otis saw this. He starts yelling at Ivy Nile, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" This distraction allowed the Creeds to knock Otis out of the ring. They stacked up Tozawa. They double pinned him. 1, 2, 3. This was a fun tag team match. American Made, the Creeds, get their win back after losing last week in the main event to the Wyatt Six. It's the way it should have been done. No harm, no foul. The one thing I do sit here disappointed about, man, they did drop the ball on an Otis babyface, massive babyface spot. They did. I don't know what they thought was best. I don't know how they thought what they did was best. But, man, did they fucking drop the ball on Otis turning, or I wouldn't even necessarily call it a turn, you know, getting his revenge on Chad Gable, man. It feels like a fucking afterthought now. It does. Otis is still incredibly over, man. Every time he's in there doing his spots and every time he gets a hot tag in a traditional tag team match, he gets a huge react. Fans love Otis. But I can't sit here and lie to you, man. I feel like they dropped the fucking ball on that whole situation. It should have been so much bigger than it was. And I don't really understand how they look at what they did and deem that, yeah, that's the best that we had. That was the right direction to go in. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. Ivy Nile turned heel. She's now with the American Made stable. She definitely comes across more as a heel. She's a bruiser. She's tiny. She's fierce. She's intense. She's going to fit in with them like a glove. And I think her paired with Gable are going to get her the proper heel heat she needs, man. So she slowly starts to ascend the ranks in the women's division. Pete Pete Dunne. This was a very good sit-down with Pete Dunne. Empty arena. I like when WWE does this. Jackie Redmond interviewed Pete Dunne in an empty arena earlier today before Monday Night Raw. Redmond asked Pete Dunne what's going on with Sheamus. Everybody wants to know what's going on with Sheamus. Redmond said Sheamus took Dunne under his wing when he came up from NXT, but he then cuts her off and says, no. Now, Sheamus held me down while I elevated Sheamus. Sheamus went on a run of a lifetime because of me. Old Dunne says he got out of it was a terrible nickname and a front row seat to the Sheamus show. If Sheamus really had the brutes under his wing, then please explain to me where Ridge Holland is. Now, Ridge Holland is in fucking Chase U, isn't he? He's fucking meddling in Chase University shit on NXT with Andre Chase. Redmond acknowledged that the name Butch is what he was stuck with. And Pete Dunne said, listen, I never want anyone to utter that name again. That shit was awful. That name was fucking... I don't know how anybody in that administration thought giving him that name was going to amount to anything. That was a way to embarrass him because he was a Triple H guy. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They had no fucking plans for Pete Dunne. They gave him the name Butch because he was a Triple H guy. And they wanted to embarrass a Triple H guy. That's all that was. Dunne said he had to swallow his pride for 2 years. He wasn't Butch. He isn't Butch. He's a bruiserweight. I'm an 18-year vet. If he had to shut Sheamus up to never hear that name again, then that's what I will do. I'm glad they gave Dunne a chance to explain himself. So we got, again, like I mentioned in the open, forwarding of stories. We got an explanation. We got a reason for something happening between these two, and a match now is made for next week. Not everybody needs a promo segment in the ring with a live microphone in front of a live audience. Not everybody's going to thrive in that environment. Someone like Pete Dunne is best in a closed environment. Someone like Pete Dunne, best in a pre-taped vignette backstage, out somewhere on location, or in this spot in an empty arena being interviewed by Jackie Redmond where there is no fans. This is something that I want you guys to keep mindful eyes on. Look at what they do. Look at what they do in the current administration. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but with someone like Pete Dunne, they did it with Nakamura as well. You see what Triple H did with Nakamura, man. The backstage promo vignettes with the red lighting and the subtitles. Now they're doing it with Pete Dunne. Not everybody needs a live microphone. They are playing to someone like Pete Dunne, someone like Shinsuke Nakamura. They are playing to their strengths instead of highlighting their weaknesses in front of a live audience. That's the difference between what Triple H is doing and what Vince McMahon did. He didn't give a shit about going the extra mile, putting the effort into giving Pete Dunne this type of treatment. He didn't give a shit about Nakamura and what he did with Nakamura. But Triple H has taken these specific talents that he knows aren't great promos, that he knows what their weaknesses are, and he's highlighting their weaknesses and making them strengths by playing to a certain situation such as this. Love it. Absolutely love it. So if you guys ever find yourself in an argument on social media, which is abundant nowadays, if you find yourself in a fucking random virgin-like Facebook group where everybody spreads fucking virginity 24/7, they are pro Vince McMahon, pal, and you want to highlight something about why this administration is far better than what we were given the last 10 to 15 years. This right here. What I just explained to you. This wasn't being done. Now it's being done. Love it. Io Sky and Kairi Sane, they cut a pre-tape promo. It was in English and in Japanese. They were in control, or still in control. Damage Control is still in control. And Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark would pay for what they did to Kairi Sane. Then there was an immediate response video by Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoey Stark. We got a new name for this trio of Deville, Baszler, and Stark. Their new stable name is Pure Fusion Collective. What? Pure Garbage Collection? Garbage Collection is every Wednesday in my neighborhood. Fusion Collection. Pure Cringe Collection. Oh, Fusion. Oh, okay. Fusion Collection. Okay. What am I watching? Dragon Ball Z? What am I ordering? A drink at Starbucks? The Fusion Collection beverage for the summertime. The fuck is a Pure Fusion Collective? I don't know. I'm assuming it has to do with their MMA backgrounds. Fusion of wrestling and MMA, right? Oh my goodness, man. Wow, what a banger name that is. I think we'll go with Pure Garbage Collection. Adam Pearce. He admonished Bronson Reed and told him he was lucky he only had to pay a fine. Reed says, listen, I warned you last week, but would give him a second chance tonight. I'm going to give you a second chance to make me happy tonight. Give me someone. I want a match. Pearce could find him an opponent tonight. Or if he doesn't, he's going to make more problems and find himself his next victim. Bronson Reed, man. You don't want to fuck with Bronson Reed. Before we get on to this women's match that blew everybody away, man. Oh, my goodness. This women's match, man. You know what? This was a barn burner of a match that got people so excited that they all got up from their couches and they went to go do anything else that they had to do, man. Empty the dishwasher, clean the cat box, fold some laundry, go take a shit. What'd you have to do tonight, man? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to step away right before we get into this ladies' match, and we're going to give our fine sponsor for tonight's show, DraftKings, a moment of our time, because they got an important, or I got an important message about DraftKings tonight, right here, ahead of a huge UFC pay-per-view this weekend. Tonight, Off the Script and the Monday Night Raw post show is sponsored by my great friends over at DraftKings. UFC 305 is this weekend, and DraftKings wants to get you guys a little bit closer to all the action. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the UFC. And DraftKings is giving new customers a shot to get in on that action all night long. New customers who bet just $5 will get $150 back in bonus bets instantly. All you guys got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use promo code JD from NY. The crown is yours. That's right, guys. You heard me. New customers bet just $5 on anything and will receive $150 back in bonus bets instantly. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. DraftKings is the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy, where you can join in on all the fun and have a shot to win cash prizes. So don't miss UFC 305 and get in on all that action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Remember, all new customers who bet just $5 on any wager will receive $150 back in bonus bets instantly when you use that promo code JD from NY. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code JD from NY only at DraftKings Sportsbook. There you go, man. DraftKings, tonight's sponsor right here on Off the Script. The one thing about this ladies match, man, Io Sky was all anybody was talking about coming out of this match, man. Io is great. And if there's one thing, there's one takeaway coming out of this match is that Io should absolutely be on her own. We need dark, evil Io in the women's division doing what she does as an individual performer away from Kairi and away from Damage Control. That's what we need. Right now, they're not even Damage Control. Asuka is injured. I don't know when she's going to be back. She'll probably be out for the rest of the year. And Dakota Kai, it was just reported that Dakota Kai is going to be out 8 to 10 weeks with a torn meniscus. So Dakota Kai is not even going to be on television for the next 3 months. So Damage Control effectively is dead. And right now it's all Io and Kairi saying, I don't know why they just don't go by the Sky Pirates or whatever the fuck their name used to be. But Io should absolutely be on her own. Io and Kairi defeated Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark. Sonya Deville was on the outside. This was a win via disqualification. They go to a break almost 60 seconds into the match. Sky was in control, but a distraction by Deville obviously got in the way here. Stark tried for a super kick to Io outside the ring, but Io ducked, and Zoey super kicked Alba Fire, who was sitting outside with Isla Dawn, because they're all feuding over the Women's Tag Team Championships, as if anybody gives a fuck about the Women's Tag Team Championships. Io had it won after hitting her moonsault in the ring, but Dawn and Fire attacked for the DQ because they obviously were attacked on the outside, and then they wanted to get some revenge. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire laid out Sky and saying after the match, this was a #1 contenders match, so we'll have to wait until next week, where now management booked Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark versus Io and Kairi versus Isla Dawn and Alba Fire in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Great. Great. Now, I don't know why. I really don't. I mean, Damage Control here. Io and Kairi won via disqualification, so you would think that they would get the championship match against the champions next week. But here we are, I guess. They want all 6 of these women involved, and they want a triple threat match for next week. Does anybody know what the fucking story is here? I'm genuinely at, what is the story? I mean, are they all fighting over the Women's Tag Team Championships? They want domination over the women's division? Is that what this is about? What is the fucking story? You know, giving me a reason of, oh, they want the women's tag team titles, JD. They're all fighting for supremacy in the women's division, Jay. That's not a fucking story. What is the story? What is the emotional tie-in that I need to sit here every fucking week and say, you know what? I'm going to emotionally attach myself to what these 6 women are doing. What is the fucking story? I don't get it. All I see is useless fucking nonsense. 6 women fighting over what? Dead titles? Is that the story? Absolutely, positively, unequivocally, nobody fucking cares. And everybody's like, well, JD, you go so hard on Dynamite when they have a bad show, but you never ream the WWE divisions like the women's division, the tag team division. This shit sucks. Every single fucking week, you just feel the energy like popping a fucking balloon. Absolutely nothing. No interest whatsoever. I don't know why we still have women's tag team titles. If I was in charge, if you put me in charge of the creative team, the first order of business would be to burn those fucking titles, man. They are nothing more than a fucking hindrance on anything. They are nothing more than an eyesore. They're a fucking albatross to this entire division. You should give me a singles championship like the North American title in the women's division held by Kalani Jordan on NXT. We need something like that on the main roster, man. Fuck these tag team titles. This shit sucks. Absolutely fucking garbage. They died as soon as Sasha and Bayley lost them to the fucking moronics. Never, never, never recovered from that decision. Dead. And they've been an embarrassment ever since. R-Truth. He approached The Miz backstage, who was not in a good mood. Truth wanted to cheer him up, so he got him a title match against Bron Breakker. He didn't really say Breaker, he said Braun. Got you a match against Braun for the IC title, bro. Miz was excited. And then R-Truth points over to the big screen that's in the back, the TV in the back. There's your guy right there. Look, there's your graphic. Miz looks over at the graphic and says, Truth, that's not Bron Breakker, that's Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed. Clearly, he was upset about this. Breakker has a match against Sami Zayn later on tonight. And Randy Orton appeared and he showed up and he gave Miz a pep talk. Orton ran down the Miz's accomplishments and he's going over all his accomplishments. Grand Slam champion, decorated champion, beat John Cena in the main event to WrestleMania. You got this, man. You got this, man. You can do it. Miz was hyped up. You think I could do it? You think I could do it? I could do it. I could beat Bronson Reed. He leaves. He goes to get ready. R-Truth asked Orton, you really think he's got a chance? And Randy Orton said, fuck no. This guy's got no chance against Bronson Reed, man. And he laughed and walked away. Randy Orton. He was walking out to get ready for a promo segment with Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion. This match is going to be a banger at Bash in Berlin. Very much looking forward to it. I think they're going to tear the house down. And Randy Orton, as we discussed last week, and as we discussed on Tuesday Night Titans with the Solid Monster, the match itself makes sense for Bash in Berlin. If you try to find a reason as to why the match doesn't make sense, if you're trying to come up with excuses as to why the match doesn't make sense, you're clearly not watching the fucking show and you're acting like a fucking idiot for the sake of acting like a fucking idiot. The match makes all the sense in the world. Orton made his ring entrance. Fans are loving Randy Orton. Randy Orton, by the way, signed a new multi-year contract with the WWE. This was apparently not an extension. They just signed him to a brand new deal. So obviously, with the way things are going right now, obviously with social media and WWE doing huge numbers and live event gate and merchandise and subscriptions and all this other shit, the landscape of WWE's completely changed from just only a couple of years ago. They signed Randy Orton to a more lucrative deal. So Randy Orton had a nice day today. He ain't going nowhere, man. He's going to be buried in the WWE. He ain't going nowhere. He's retiring, and he's going to be given a nice Legends deal, nice comfy Legends deal when his contract is up, when his career is over. Orton's in the ring on the microphone. He said, 20 years ago, he won the World Championship for the very first time, and he became the youngest champion of all time. He says he will become a 15-time world champion at Bash in Berlin. No, he will not. All of a sudden, Gunther interrupted. I hate Gunther's music. It's so Def Rebel. If there's one thing I'd also change, it's Gunther's music. Whoever's going to be doing WWE's music from, hopefully, post-Def Rebel era, I hope they change Gunther's music. It's so fucking weak. Nothing beats his NXT theme. We were fed very nicely in NXT. We were spoiled with the great music that we got during the black and gold days. Not so much here on the main roster. Gunther walked to the ring. They gave this statistic about Gunther. McAfee said 75% of Gunther's time in the WWE, he's held a title. That's fucking impressive. Very impressive. Michael Cole says he's not sure anyone else is even close to that. Orton says he's going to defeat Gunther. And then on Monday Night Raw, this will be his new home. Gunther told everyone, take a picture, folks. Take a picture because that's Randy Orton. He's one of the greatest of all time. Gunther told Orton that he shouldn't be one of the greatest, but rather the single greatest of all time. Says he has unlimited natural physical gifts, but he wasted it. He told Orton to look at him. He said, it is the era of the ring general. Orton says he never claimed to be perfect, but he should realize he is the most unpredictable, violent, and successful WWE superstar in history. Orton also went on to say that he's made a lot of mistakes. He's probably made more mistakes than everybody in the back right now combined. But he's learned from those mistakes. He says he's got 5 kids at home and a hot-ass smoke show of a wife. He said, as a 14-time champion, I appreciate your opinion, but I think I've done pretty damn good for myself. And fans started to chant, USA, USA. Gunther, with this prick-like smile on his face, says he thinks Orton is predictable. He says he's going to give Orton the beating of his career, and he will never be World Heavyweight Champion again. He says when it really, really matters, Orton always screws up. He said Orton's grandfather was a screw-up. He says his father was a screw-up. And then he pointed to Randy Orton and said Randy Orton is the biggest screw-up of them all. Orton was obviously seething at this point, and you saw all over his face he wanted to punch the smirk right off of Gunther. McIntyre. Yes, Drew McIntyre's music hits, and he walks out. Fans are chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. Orton gave a distracted Gunther at this point because he turned to look at McIntyre, probably wondering what he was doing out there. Orton gave a distracted Gunther an RKO. So it didn't happen out of nowhere. It didn't happen in the shadows. Randy Orton lived up to what he said last week to Gunther. I don't want you to know it's not coming. I want you to know it is coming. And that's exactly what he did tonight. So he lived up to his promise already. He gave him an RKO right in front of his face. So Punk, yes, Punk, who was detailed as having travel issues, he was not there, quote unquote. All of a sudden he shows up. He's wearing some new merch, some new CM Punk merch. He attacks McIntyre from behind in the aisleway. McIntyre headbutted Punk, then took off his belt and started swinging his belt at him. Punk moved, took the belt from McIntyre, and began whipping McIntyre until McIntyre retreated through the crowd. McIntyre still obviously has possession of Punk's bracelet, and that was basically it. Punk swung the belt over his head like he was in the rodeo. And we got his theme music playing, and that was a very quick segment for Punk and McIntyre tonight. They showed Punk backstage looking for Drew McIntyre. In the background, it appeared Gunther had knocked over some water bottles in a fit of rage. Always putting something backstage. Whether it's focused on Punk and something else has happened, or it could be anybody else. There's always something in the foreground that is going to be Triple H-esque. They want to give you these little tidbits. Something else is going on backstage. Punk is out there with Jackie Redmond and said he told a white lie about travel issues. Because if McIntyre knew he was there, McIntyre wouldn't have shown up. He talked about the bracelet, said McIntyre can keep it, but it's about the names on the bracelet. He says he isn't allowed to speak his wife's name or his dog's name without repercussions. He says he went to Glasgow to embarrass him in his own country. He says he just figured out a way to make everybody happy, and he looked at the belt while he said that. Let's go back to the Randy Orton and Gunther situation. Great. I thought it was a great segment. Sold it very nicely. I like the fact that Gunther purposely makes things personal. He didn't need to bring up his grandfather, Orton's grandfather. He didn't need to bring up Orton's father. He didn't need to bring up Orton's past mistakes, which have been very well documented. But he wants to get under Orton's skin. He wants to make it personal. He wants to show that he's better than everybody he's in the ring with, especially if he's going to be defending that championship. And that's the way he does it. He's got this thing about playing mind games and the way that he plays mind games. He tries to get under people's skin. I like that side of Gunther. I do. Think this match is going to be great. And like I said last week, it makes all the sense in the world that they get this out of the way right now. Gunther and Orton wrestled at the King of the Ring in May. It was the finals of the King of the Ring. Gunther was always slated to win the King of the Ring. It was never supposed to be Randy Orton. His shoulders were up on the mat. There was a crucifix pin that was botched. I think it was a legit botch, but they're playing into it. That night, Triple H said, we're going to get this match again. I don't know where, I don't know when, but we're going to do it. Randy Orton picked this spot when Gunther won the championship at SummerSlam from Damian Priest, showed up on Monday Night Raw, asked for a championship match. Gunther's not going to say no, because that's not the way Gunther operates. That's not in his DNA. So yes, it makes sense. Triple H said it in May that we're going to get this match, and then we get it. So it's almost like they foreshadowed what was going to happen. They just didn't know when it was going to happen at that time. But there's no better time than when Gunther's champion. If you're Randy Orton, you put yourself in his shoes. When are you going to show up and get Gunther? Before SummerSlam? Or are you going to wait till after he wins the championship and then get what you want? Hey, you know, you owe me a rematch. Now you're the world champion. I think I'm going to cash in my rematch now. It makes all the sense in the world. It also solidifies Gunther's championship title run right off the jump. There's no better name to beat in your first match, in your first title defense as champion, than Randy Orton. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this and say, that's weak. That shit sucks. If this was AEW, JD would be shitting all over it. Probably, because it wouldn't be half as fucking good. And there'd be logic gap after logic gap after logic gap in the AEW build. Then people want to say, oh, well, you're making fun of Hikaru Shida and Mercedes wrestling on Dynamite. But you're not saying anything about Kevin Owens getting a championship match against Cody. Hikaru Shida lost to the woman that Mercedes is defending the championship against 2 weeks ago. Mercedes is defending against Britt Baker. She's defending the TBS championship against Britt Baker at All In, Wembley Stadium. Hikaru Shida is wrestling Mercedes Moné on Dynamite Wednesday, defending the TBS title. Why? You know, Britt beat Shida in a one-on-one match, in Britt's return match. They went 10 minutes, and she lost clean. But here she is getting a fucking title match against Mercedes. I got AEW cultists, virgins, geeks. Oh, but it's a championship that revolves around open challenges. Nothing more than a fantasy land with these people. Nothing more than make-believe. They got, I mean, if there's anything that an AEW cultist has, better than anybody, it's a fucking excuse. People were like, well, you didn't shit on Kevin Owens. Because the fucking story with Gunther and Randy Orton and the story with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes all bleed into one another, you fucking half-witted idiot. What more do I need to explain to you? Is Randy Orton going to beat Gunther for the world title? No. He's not. Is Kevin Owens going to beat Cody Rhodes for the world title? No, he's not. Kevin Owens came out and basically told you, I don't want this fucking match. I want to win matches first. Cody Rhodes is only giving him the title match because it's a make good for helping him for weeks against the Bloodline. Cody feels that Kevin Owens deserves a reward. And instead of giving him anything else, he's giving him a title match. Kevin Owens didn't want it. So on that same show, Cody Rhodes goes to Nick Aldis, and they come up with a sneaky way to get Kevin Owens to agree to the match. He goes backstage and says, I don't want this title match. Nick Aldis says, don't worry about it. We're going to give the title match to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns? He held the title for 1,300 days. You mean the Roman Reigns that cheated to win every fucking match? You could go in the locker room and find anybody worthy of a championship match better than Roman Reigns. Nick Aldis looks at Kevin Owens and says, I'm looking at him. Randy Orton is going to lose to Gunther. Randy Orton has lost every single PLE match in 2024. What do you think he's going to do with that? What do you think he's going to do with that, AEW cultist? He's going to take it right back to SmackDown. He's going to see that Cody gave KO a title match, and he's going to lose his fucking shit. Boom! Heel Randy Orton. Any more fucking questions? Maybe you should worry about Tony Khan booking a proper fucking wrestling program instead of giving me fucking bullshit that I could call out. A blind man could fucking see it. Oh, but it's an open challenge. The TVS title. How many fucking titles exist in the fucking company that operate under open challenges? Trios title, TBS title, international title, my fucking Harry Cox title. Which title? Which title operates as a normal fucking title? Continental title, international title, the American title, the New Japan fucking 12-man open weight cruiserweight title. What title? Tony Khan's White Claw title. They got fucking 17 championships. Every fucking title's an open challenge. Jesus fucking Christ. They even got Swerve defending the fucking championship against Tomohiro Ishii. And it wasn't a title match. It was an eliminator match. No difference. Swerve against Tomohiro Ishii? Really? Really? In the middle of a show in front of 900 people, which is being watched by 300,000 on a Saturday night on AEW Collision. That's what you do with your world champion? Man, oh man, if WWE did that to Roman Reigns or Gunther or Cody Rhodes, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I'd throw my hands up in the air and say, I'm done. Does the forbidden door ever close? Who asked for Tomohiro Ishii? Who? Oh, but it's a great match. To who? To who? Swerve just went on Wednesday and defended the fucking, well, he's wrestling Wheeler Yuta on Wednesday. Did he need another match? Oh. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, JD. No, you're just a fucking idiot who doesn't watch the fucking show. Then I gotta come on here and explain it to you like you're fucking 6 years old. Bronson Reed. He wrestled The Miz in 6 minutes. I don't know why this went 6 minutes. I don't know why The Miz got offense, to be quite honest with you. Like, what are we doing here? Why did we need this match to go 6 minutes? I would have taken 4 minutes from this and added the 4 minutes to Bron Breakker and Sami Zayn. I don't know why this needed to go 6 minutes. Miz started making a comeback after he was on the defensive. Tornado DDT. He hits the it kicks. Reed no-sold the it kicks because they're fucking garbage. Pure garbage collection is the Miz's it kicks. Miz tried for a springboard crossbody. Reed caught him in a Death Valley driver. And then he goes up for the tsunami for the 1, 2, 3. Reed went for another tsunami, but R-Truth saved the Miz, so Reed gave him consecutive tsunamis instead. All of a sudden, the Miz vanished. Pierce and the officials ran out. Reed continued with 2 more until the officials dragged Truth away. They dragged him to another corner. So crowd at this point was chanting, "One more time, one more time." They stupidly dragged him to the corner. Reed goes back to the ring. He goes back up top and delivers another tsunami. Adam Pearce was yelling, you're fined, you're suspended. Bronson Reed is a fucking savage. We're at a point right now where Bronson Reed goes up to the top rope to deliver a tsunami, and crowds are now chanting one more time to Monday Night Raw's most beloved babyfaces. Michael Cole even mentioned that R-Truth is a national treasure, and Bronson Reed crushed him. Crowd was big time into this. It was them taking a page out of last week's Savage Attack. I don't know where we're going with Bronson Reed. Seth Rollins apparently is injured legitimately. I don't know what the fuck happened with Rollins. He wrestled one match. He wrestled one fucking match against Damian Priest at Money in the Bank. The fuck did he do to get injured? He didn't wrestle on any house shows. What did he do to get injured? Did he get injured in the match with Damian Priest at Money in the Bank? Or did he come back way too soon? Because nobody expected him to come back this soon after WrestleMania. We expected him out basically for the rest of the year. So it's either he injured himself in that match or he came back way too soon and was injured going into the match and only aggravated those injuries. Internal bleeding, bruised insides, or whatever the fuck they said he has. I would love to see Rollins versus Reed at Bash in Berlin. I think it calls for a pay-per-view setting or PLE setting. I don't want to see it in the main event of Monday Night Raw from Biloxi, Missouri. No. It deserves a PLE treatment. With Bronson Reed tsunamiing Seth Rollins. This was great. They'll probably suspend Reed after this because Rollins is out. How many more people can he fucking squash like a bug? There'll be no more Monday Night Raw if he continues on the warpath that he's on right now. This was great. Wasn't better than last week. Wasn't as shocking. I mean, last week, the reason why it was so great last week was because it was a huge shock factor. This was also great, too. I wish it was The Miz, too. Jey Uso hyped up Sami Zayn backstage. Jey said Zayn would beat Braun and beat him again. And then the two of them would beat the Judgment Day to win the WWE Tag Team titles. Zayn was pumped. They did their handshake. And we got our main event. There was a Judgment Day promo before the main event. Finn Balor. He was narrating this promo. And Balor said there are no leaders or egos in the Judgment Day. Dominic said Priest and Ripley are a joke. And that Balor said he would get Priest when he least suspects it. Main event time. Bron Breakker, Intercontinental Champion, defending against Sami Zayn. This time, it's 2 out of 3 falls. A lot of you guys thought the match, including me, I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of disappointed at their SummerSlam match, though I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought they went about it the right way. I would have kind of squashed Zayn, too, after what they did with Bron Breakker kind of leading into SummerSlam. So I was kind of disappointed we didn't get at least 15 minutes out of him. I mean, if you were disappointed with their SummerSlam match, you were definitely feeling a lot better coming out of this one. This was a great main event. Great main event. Breaker cornered Sami with a bunch of shoulder thrusts. Sami threw him out of the ring and took him out with a Copeton hero. WWE, typical for their main events. We got 2 of them. We go to our first picture. Or actually, it wasn't a pic. I wish it was a picture-in-picture. We go to our first commercial break. Come back from the break. Sami caught Breaker with a big kick, only for Breaker to shut him down and hit a snap power slam. Sami avoided a power bomb, spiked Breaker with a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Breaker blocked a blue thunder bomb and caught Sami off guard with a released German suplex. Breaker attacked Sami with a pair of corner clotheslines before he was on the receiving end of a haluva kick. And that was enough to get a pinfall over Bron Breakker. Sami Zayn was up 1-0. Believe it or not, he pinned the champion. Sure, there'll be some fucking geek on social media. Oh, why do you have Zayn pin Breakker? It's a 2 out of 3 falls match, idiot. He didn't lose the title. Breakker caught Sami off of a moonsault, this spot that Zayn does now. He runs, he jumps to the barricade, does a moonsault off the barricade. Breakker caught him, and in a ridiculous spot, Breakker runs towards Samantha Irvin, towards the timekeeper's there, and lawn darts this poor schmuck over the timekeeper's area, and the camera was fucking falling over. We didn't even see how he hit, where he hit. All you see is him lawn dart this guy over the barricade, and we go to a commercial break. Back from break, Breakker launched Sami across the ring with a patented Frankensteiner for a near fall. Breakker immediately flattened Sami with a Gorilla Plus Slam, and then he hits back-to-back spears to get the second fall. So now we're tied 1-1. Sami surprised Breakker with a crucifix pin, only for Breakker to crack him with an uppercut. Breakker smashed Sami's head into the announce table, blasted him with a diving clothesline over it. Sami, he managed to get back into the ring at a 9 count. Breakker sat Sami on the top turnbuckle, only for Sami to reverse whatever Breakker was planning and hits a sunset flip power bomb for a near fall. Breakker blocked the setup for the haluva kick. He blocked the exploder and tossed Sami away with a belly-to-belly suplex. Sami avoided a spear. He got a near fall with a roll-up. Breakker blasted Sami with a jumping knee before Sami blocked a second spear with a big boot. It was almost it was actually a haluva kick, but not in the corner and not as intense. He hit him with a mini haluva kick. He falls right on top of Bron Breakker, does Sami. He gets a 2 count. Sami shoved Breakker off the top turnbuckle, only for Breakker to block a diving move with a spear. 1, 2, 3. Bron Breakker wins by spearing Sami, coming off the top rope with whatever he was planning on doing. He retains the Intercontinental title, and the show quickly goes off the air. I wish this was given just a little bit more time. I don't want to sound greedy, because what they did was great. Even we got two commercial breaks. We'll sit through 2 fucking commercial breaks through this thing. I don't want to sound greedy, but I would have absolutely loved to see another at least 8 to 10 minutes here. Easy. I felt like even they gave us almost 18 minutes in the main event through 2 commercial breaks. We didn't see half of the match. But man, if they got at least another 8 to 10 minutes on TV, man, this would have been a banger. It was on its way to being a banger. This was a great TV match, but I wouldn't put it in banger territory. If they got another 8 to 10 minutes, man, they would have fucking tore the house down. These guys are great together. Breakker is fucking great. He is so great, and so is Sami. I don't know what Sami does next. Maybe they go after the tag team titles like Jay insisted they do. Maybe they get traded over to SmackDown so they can do the thing with Roman against the Bloodline. I don't know where they go. I don't know where Sami goes. Sami is done with the IC title. I can see Dragunov coming up and fighting for that title next. That's going to be another problem because Breakker ain't losing the title. But I could see them doing that at Bash in Berlin. But this was a great main event. Again, I could have saw these two guys go another 8 to 10 minutes. But 2 out of 3 falls was excellent in the main event on what I thought was a solid Monday Night Raw. I'd give this a 6.5 out of 10. I thought tonight was a show that forwarded some of the biggest storylines coming out of Monday Night Raw very nicely. They didn't push it into overdrive going into Berlin. They got 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to go. But I thought tonight was a solid show for WWE on Monday Night Raw. We're going to get into your super chats, guys. Get them on in if you want to hang out for the rest of the night. We're going to get into them in just a second. Once again, thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring tonight's show. DraftKings, the official sponsor of Off the Script. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code JD from NY. All new customers who bet just $5 will receive $150 back in bonus bets when you place a $5 bet on any wager. So make sure you guys go and check that out. DraftKings, the official sponsor of Off the Script. Promo code JD from NY only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go and check out the Clips channel. I would love to get that to at least 5,000 subs before All In. I'd love to see that happen. We're well on our way there. We got, I believe, 2,700 subs over there already. So make sure you guys go and do that. I'll be uploading there hopefully daily, if not every other day. We uploaded twice today. I got one already queued up for tomorrow, and there'll be more going up there this week. So make sure you guys go and check that out. JD from NY Shorts is the channel. It's going to be the official Clips channel of Off the Script. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. We are well on our way to 162,000 subscribers. Hit that thumbs up. We got 736 likes. I'd love to see 1,000. Can we get 1,000? Tomorrow night, Solid Monster Night will be live with Tuesday Night Titans. And go and get your t-shirt, man. Tuesday Night Titans now has official merch. First ever Tuesday Night Titans design and first ever collab with the Solid Monster Sounds Off and JD from New York. Now available on bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Tuesday Night Titans and Off the Script. Link is down in the description below. So go and check that out. If you have not purchased your shirt, go and get it. It's a great way to support what Jason and I do on Tuesday nights. Let's get into these super chats, and then we'll call it a night. Sidro with a $10 super chat. From what I'm hearing from a good friend who knows people in the company, talks to Brock on the phone. Brock will be back for Mania build. He was found innocent. And Shayna's back to take over AEW. Eventually. I don't know how legit that is, Sidro, but maybe we get Brock and Gunther at WrestleMania. We didn't get it this year. Maybe they just kind of rehashed those plans. I'd love to see it. If that's the case, I'd love to see it. That'd be fucking phenomenal. Sidro also with a $5 super chat. Do you want to hear a wrestling joke? David Otunga. Does anybody remember David Otunga? Yeah, me neither. Michelle with a $2 super chat. Drew Punk in a strap match. Sign me up. Yes, absolutely. I forgot to mention that. I was ranting about fucking AEW. Yes, strap match. A lot of people think it's going to be a dog collar match. WWE is not doing a dog collar match. Ever. We're either going to get a Texas strap match or some sort of strap match. Bull rope match. Probably a strap match. We're not going to see a dog collar match. Though I'd love to see one. No, we're not. Sidro with a $5 super chat. Why couldn't Hulk Hogan sleep in the 80s? He could never lie down for more than 3 seconds. See, that's a good one. That's a good one, brother. AJ with a $4.99. What's up, JD? It's my 26th birthday. I'm glad I'm spending it with the OTS family. R-Truth is the man. He took 6 tsunamis at 52 years old. Loved it. R-Truth doing his thing, brother. Happy birthday, man. Happy 26th. I hope you enjoy yourself. Apex Calibre with a $1.99. Damian and Rhea are heels. Got a memory older than 2 years. They are not heels. They are absolutely baby faces. Blurred the Nerd with a $5 super chat. Can we please send a prayer for R-Truth? I think he knows who is now. Well, who is who now? And it wasn't Vader. Yes, he knows who is who now. He's not Braun Breaker, I'll tell you that. Thank you, Blurred. Justin with a 24 months. Golden microphone secured. Keep up the great work. As always, JD, love that Gunther and Orton promo. Should be a great match at Berlin. Yes. And thank you for being here for 24 months, brother. That is quite the milestone. Appreciate you. Apex with a $1.99. Rhea beat Dom to submission and backstab Liv 2022. Grant with a $4.99. Hey, JD, what a fantastic main event tonight. And Raw is definitely the A show. Also purchased my What the Fuck Are You Guys Drinking t-shirt. OTS for life. There you go. Love to see it, brother. That is new. The Tuesday Night Titans design is new. Go and get your new merch, bro. We got some banger designs up there. Skinner with 11 months. One more month to 12 months. Love you, JD. If I don't even up getting that 12 months suddenly, for whatever reason, having Bronson tsunami me 5 times. Bro, you couldn't pay me to take one fucking tsunami. No, thank you. Pause with the 17 months. The only people I want to see face Cena at WrestleMania for his last match are Randy Orton, CM Punk, or AJ Styles. Hashtag fuck those other guys. I appreciate you, Pause. Phil with 24 months, or with 20 months rather. He's almost at 24 months. 20 months. And a $5 super chat. 4 months away from my golden mic. JD, you will always be the best wrestling podcaster out there. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here. And he says, I'm sorry, but Dom made the worst mistake of his life choosing Liv over Rhea. Give me Rhea every single day of the week. I'm going Rhea, bro. I'm going Rhea over Liv. But as far as Dominic choosing Liv over Rhea, I think he made the right decision in the terms of looks. But Rhea's going to get the best of everybody here. Jason Barker with 24 months. Golden microphone. Did you see Joe Cronin's video on Sean's View? I did. I don't care. I said nothing egregious about Schlong's View. I said nothing offensive about Schlong's View. His content is fucking garbage. He made a video about Dean Ambrose returning to WWE. Clearly not true, because Jon Moxley signed a new 5-year deal last year with AEW. He'll be known as the biggest clickbait artist in the history of YouTube. And then you got people who actually comment on this fucking garbage content and believe what he says. I mean, either he's fucking just slow, or the fan base that follows him and watches his shit are a bunch of bots and a bunch of retards. What? Dean Ambrose is returning to WWE? On what fucking planet? I saw the video. He then deleted the video. He threatened me with bow and arrows. He wanted to fucking shoot bow and arrows at me and kill me. He threatened to murder on me. I didn't say nothing like that. He threatened murder on me, and he threatened to break a glass bottle over my head. Wow. Well, because I made fun of CM Punk, WWE, the Brash. Sure thing, bro. Don't tread on me with a $5 super chat. Did you hear Michael Cole talking about heavy machinery? I did. He didn't mention heavy machinery. He called Otis a heavy machinery-like individual. Pedro Miranda. Yes, apparently we're back in high school. Schlongsview thinks subscribers still matter on YouTube. They don't. Most of the channels that we all watch have a ton of dead subs. Subs don't matter. Retaining the subs that you do have is the only thing that matters. Making sure YouTube picks up your shit in the algorithm is the only fucking thing that matters. Going live and generating a community is the only thing that matters. El Mase with 13 months. You think Triple H is crazy enough to have Damian and Rhea challenge Finn and JD for the tag team titles? No. That's not happening. Fixes a bind with a 22... I don't know why it says a new membership. 22-month membership. Thank you, Fixes. Lauren Marie with $2 super chat. Randy Orton's last singles PLE win was at WrestleMania 37. Thank you for the update. Triple M with a $2 super chat. The D2 burnout is back. Just don't know what to do. I am doing Grandmasters, bro. That's all I do. I had to miss that week of the linear fusion rifle, Adept linear fusion rifle. So I'm going to be doing, I think that's coming back maybe tomorrow. Of course, they'll probably put it behind the glassway or one of the fucking battleground strikes. But I need a god roll of that. I finally got my god roll bow after 40 fucking attempts at the Fallen Saber, bro. Oh, my God. But yeah, until the next act, it's dead. Armando with 17 months. Do you see Triple H making the tag team division a point of emphasis in 2025? Would you love to see some bangers in the tag team division? OTS, best podcast in the IWC. Thank you, Armando. Yes, with the Lucha Brothers and potentially Motor City Machine Guns, yeah. Absolutely. Lauren with a $2 super chat. That heel Orton turn is gonna hit. Yes, it is. John Scott with an $8 super chat. Great podcast as usual, always. I'm in the venue sipping Jim Beam and playing an acoustic set, taking requests. No Freebird or no Wonderwall. Cheers, all. Well, shit, John. I don't know what type of song I'm requesting, bro. Lauren with a $2 super chat. There are rumors saying Cena will battle Gunther. Yes, but not at WrestleMania. Cena going after the title at WrestleMania is not what should be done. Chris with a $4.99. What's up, JD? Today's my 32nd birthday. Happy birthday, Chris. Having a blue moon. Thank you for what you do. Hope you're doing well. OTS for life. Thank you, bro. Still pretty rough around here, but I'm managing. As long as I have Schlong's View and fucking Matt Coon not bothering me, I'll be fine. And Lauren with a $2 super chat. Rumors Orton just signed a new multi-year, 5-year deal. Yes, we just talked about that earlier. Thank you, guys. I am getting out of here, man. Thank you guys very much for all your support. I appreciate everybody that tunes in live right here on OTS. Tomorrow night will be live with the Solid Monster on Tuesday Night Titans episode 61. What are we going to talk about? I don't fucking know. We'll figure something out. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. You know, Schlungsview doesn't have this, man. He's got fucking artists on Mixer or Fixer or one of these fucking websites. He's got artwork made by a fucking 6-year-old Indian boy. Meanwhile, look at what we're dealing with here, man.
Oh, but JD Cubby started disrespect.
I'm sorry. What? Well, because you can't fucking come up with a creative way to make yourself stand out. Or you can't come up with a way to fucking differentiate yourself from these fucking half-witted retard bedroom streamers that want to fucking poke fun at everybody else. Meanwhile, they got 8 failed fucking podcasts. Sure thing, guy. Sure thing. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here before I get myself in trouble. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Listen, man, at least I'm better off. At least I ain't asking Denise fucking Bronm Breaker questions, playing fucking Never Have I Ever with Bronm Breaker. You see that fucking clip? My God, what a fucking embarrassment, man. Jesus fucking Christ.